All right, good evening, everyone. We will go ahead and call to order our April 3rd, 2025 meeting of the Ascension Parish Council. And I'm going to ask Mr. Joseph, if you would please lead us in the invocation and pledge. Amen. All right, thank you, Mr. Joseph. Item number 2, roll call. Ms. Secretary, we are missing Mr. Arsenault, Mr. P.T., and Mr. Cullen. All other members are present. Chair's addition. So Mr. Cullen, grandbaby, was born today, so he's got him another grandbaby. So congrats there to DC. Now he said he's never getting to retire. All right, the public comment sign-in period. If anyone would like to speak on any of our agenda items, we have the red and green cards up here at the podium. Fill them out, and you put the agenda item you'd like to speak on. When we get to that agenda item, you have 3 minutes to speak. And after that, number 5, Mr. President, your report, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, Council. We had an excellent turnout for the Oak Grove Playground ribbon cutting ceremony yesterday. I want to thank those who attended and made the event a success. Please note that our trash bash is scheduled for Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. For more information on how to sign up, follow our social media channels. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. And we are moving along to item 6A under general business. And this is ratification of the removal of ballot item from May 3rd, 2025 ballot, specifically the proposition that authorizes a 15-meal tax for Pelican Point Golf Community. And sponsored by Mr. President, Mr. Robert, and Mr. Joseph. Anyone have any? Look, I'm sorry, and I do have a speaker. I'm sorry, Mr. Mark Villa.
Good evening. How's everyone?
Good.
So I'm Mark Villa, representing Pelican Point. I'm the HOA president. So speaking on behalf of a lot of residents, had a concern with what was going to be the upcoming vote for tax district for Pelican Point for roads and infrastructure. Just for the record, if I understand this correctly, currently the parish funds roads and drainage infrastructure from the general fund that's funded by sales tax and not property tax. I think that's correct. So I've met with administration from planning and zoning a week or so ago, and that's how we derived here, because a lot of residents felt that nothing was communicated to them in this regard. It is a state statute on the books about this tax district, but there's a lot of questions and concerns residents have because, as you know, Pelican Point is a unique development with private and public streets and such, and gates and all that sort of thing. So there was a lot of questions fielded. So that's why we're here today to thank you ahead of time if you choose to delay that vote to a later term, but also in my discussions with planning and zoning officials, they agreed to have a town hall meeting with us to answer questions and field concerns about what's the details of this proposal, what's going to be included in that sort of thing. So I look forward to an upcoming meeting with them so they can understand more, so people are educated on what we're voting for. And so that's what I wanted to say. And then also people feel the communications method that we use here in the paper, a lot of people don't read the paper. So maybe communicate to the HOA, we have a direct link with our residents. It's affecting our residents and not anybody other than Pelican Point residents. So what upcoming events like what's coming up, please communicate that through us as well as your normal channels by law in the paper. And people probably would have a better feeling about what's was to take place here. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Chair. Mind if
Yeah, Mr. Robert.
Questions for me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not necessarily questions, but
Yeah.
I'd like you to stay up. I kind of wanted to address a few of the things you did mention. I was speaking with administration with Ruth earlier today, and we're definitely going to put together a town hall at the clubhouse itself. The road infrastructure district is something that I feel it's not something that's completely new, specific just to Pelican Point. It's something that they're doing with a lot of other developments. I think that having the open house will allow everybody to have the time needed to assess everything. If you don't support it, don't vote for it. I'm all about that. I want y'all to know that it wasn't done in any way, shape, or fashion, as far as my knowledge, as far as trying to pull it over anybody's eyes. But I'll make sure to personally contact you as the Pelican Point Homeowners Association when it does come back up in the future, if it comes back in the future, put on the future ballot. Appreciate what you've done for us.
Yeah, I would just say that we have that meeting sooner than later
Absolutely.
to ask questions and get the details.
And I'm sure if you speak with Ruth also, she's going to, I'm thinking you're going to be the point of contact putting that together. And I can channel with you also with that. You have any idea on the time frame?
Yep.
Maybe like the next 2 months or so. Yeah. Is that cool?
That should work. Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right.
That's all I had, Chair. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Mr. Ellenbeck?
In this attachment, there's a letter dated March 31st.
We can't hear you, Brian.
There's a letter dated March 31st to Secretary of State to remove item, and we haven't even voted on it yet.
I think we got a deadline. We need to get it pulled off the ballot.
Thank you. You said, are you talking about the letter?
Yeah,
That would be your question for either Mr. Dupatti or,
I was just curious how that
Mr.
turned
Robert.
in already. We ain't voted on it
no,
yet.
I'm gonna let Mr. Amadi speak real quick, and then we'll come right back to you. We do have another public speaker, Mr. Remy Amadi.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Remy Amadi. I live at 6030 Cypress Point Lane, Pelican Point. I have a series of questions that I jotted down, and I just want to get them out in the public and let you guys and ladies address them whenever you can, but I just want to get it for the record. Some of the questions I have on here is, Ascension Parish is one of the fastest growing parishes in the state. We all know that. A lot of pressure on the infrastructure and everything. So, along that comes a lot more tax money. So the question is, on that, are we really having trouble meeting the obligations of our community needs? Question number one. Question number two, Mr. Mark just asked that question, and you guys sort of answered it. Why are we cherry picking subdivisions with this new tax? Third question is, why hasn't the parish passed an ordinance parish-wide, creating these districts parish-wide to address all the needs of all the communities? Because we all know that at some point in time, this is, according to what I'm learning, is that these issues are going to become prevalent throughout the whole parish. So why just cherry pick at one point in time and point subdivisions, people against other people, and the manipulation or the moving of funds around? Let's do it parish-wide. Let's do it uniform. Let's be organized in doing this. Explain or describe what areas are included in the Pelican Point tax district. That seems to be a little unclear. I read the legal description. I'm not a legal person with I can understand all that stuff as sure as a bunch of other people can. About the businesses. Is the business included in the tax? Learned just a couple of minutes ago, the businesses are not included in this area. If so, why not? Why isn't the golf course being pulled in? Why isn't the restaurant being pulled in? Why is the golf shop being pulled in? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're all included in this district. So the couple of questions is, last two I have, will current property taxes being paid by Pelican Point residents to the parish and these services be reapportioned to this new district? In other words, we're already paying. How would that money be cut out, reapportioned, moved around, if we're already paying for something, as well as everybody in the parish? And finally, no, I'm going to skip that one. I don't want to go in the woods. So anyway, thank you for your time. Can't wait to get these communications going on, like Mark mentioned, and I think a lot of you did. We got to do a better job in communicating, and I think everybody deserves that. We owe it to them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Look, just real quick, there's a few of those questions I can answer right now. Our parish roads are funded. I don't want to misspeak, but I want to say we have 1/3 of a half-cent sales tax that we use to fund all roughly 1,200 miles of parish road. The way the voters have approved our millages and sales tax for the parish, we almost have more money for libraries than we do roads, and that's not an exaggeration. We have roughly $11 million a year annually to maintain, build, and upkeep parish roads, which we have roughly 1,200 miles of. So the funds, my opinion, there's not a single item that we are underfunded more than transportation for the parish, and we have to use our general fund as much as we can. We got to skim, dollars from other pots where we can, and it's a very tough task. Let me see, the tax revenue. So this 15 mil would go into a pot, right? If approved by the citizens, it would go into a pot, and that money would sit there, and it would only be used for y'all's jurisdiction. It can never be used in Pelican Crossing or Prairieville or anything like for anything outside of the area. I think it is a good idea that we kind of include a map, to accomplish, because I know Pelican Point, not off the top of my head, but public, private, intertwined, all in the same, and that's a real mess. And just a little background on the RIDs, the Road Infrastructure Districts. We started these back in, I want to say 2018, Mr. Eric, is that correct? Right. And so you mentioned why not do it parish-wide. It does take approval of the voters, right? So we can't just say, every road is now a road infrastructure district. Anything that was in our system, system before then, if to come out, it would take a positive vote of the residents there. And pretty much every neighborhood, every subdivision built since 2018, whenever they build a street, when they build a neighborhood, they have two options. Either it's private and it's theirs forever, or they have to do the road infrastructure district. The parish is no longer building and maintaining roads in neighborhoods, not since 2018. And so this is not not a one-off. I'm assuming, Mr. Eric I'm assuming we have 50 plus RIDs now within the parish over the last 7 years.
We've got about 30, 35
30
of them
35,
to our
so
parish right now.
And that's the questions I can just answer off the top of my head and whatnot. I'm very I'm not familiar with exactly putting it back on the agenda and whatnot, but just as far as the road infrastructure districts go, that's kind of just a little background on how they work and our honest struggles with transportation. We have the 20-year bond for the Move Ascension program, which has helped a lot of areas, but the small areas, neighborhoods, older neighborhoods, it's a real struggle. Pelican Point's, I'm assuming, say almost 30 years old now, right? Late 90s. Mm-hmm. And my assumption is there probably hasn't been much overlay in Pelican Point since it's been built. A lot of it's probably original road, and we're seeing that all over the place. So it's not just Pelican Point. We're going to struggle for a very long time with the way our our taxes are set up now between the millages and the sales tax combined. So I'm gonna just give that a little background, and I'm gonna turn it back over to Mr. Hillinsbeck, who did have a question, and I want to let Mr. Remy speak before we started talking. So Mr. Hillinsbeck, the floor is back yours.
Just this letter that's in our packet to the Secretary of State dated March 31st. To take that item off. Like, how
Yeah,
was
that
that
would-
submitted and being voted on?
Another withdrawal. We wanted to have it removed from the ballot so the parish wouldn't be charged for the election. And the drop dead date was April 3rd. We got a letter to the Secretary of State, I think it was Monday. And so we're planning on moving it. It will probably be, based on the fact that we're going to have to start over, we're going to probably be on the ballot and looking to put
I'm
it in
just saying,
November.
like, we should have a special meeting to vote on that.
We are going to have a special meeting because
No,
we're going to have to start the
take it off
process
the
over
ballot,
again.
That's what I'm saying.
Do what now?
To take it off the ballot, like, it's already been submitted.
Well, if you don't,
No, I'm just curious how it's dated that, did it yet?
yeah, I mean, it was, we were coming up against it.
You know,
So
looking at the
sometimes
letter
we
I'm
have
looking at.
really hard deadlines that require the parish president to make certain acts, such as declare a state
I'm
of
not
emergency
against it
for
or
the
nothing. I was
parish.
just curious how it was dated that before we voted on it.
Yeah, so it was dated, so what you're doing is ratifying the letter that he wrote. Normally, we would want to come to you ahead of time to get that permission, but the time frame did not allow.
And Brian, I will say that they did involve me in this. John Pollard called me whenever they made that decision.
Okay. I was just curious.
No, I know,
With the
I
date.
get it, but I'm just saying they did reach out to the councilman for that.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I was just curious about the date on there.
Okay.
Make a motion to,
Yeah, I second it.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the ratification of the removal of the ballot from Mr. Joseph, a second by Mr. Vornado. Any objection? Hearing none. So move. Introduction of ordinances, 7A. Introduction of an ordinance to amend Ascension Parish zoning map from Crossroads Commercial to Light Industrial zoning review ID PZ-3613.25 for Roco Investments LLC, located on the south side of West Edenborn Parkway, approximately 1,900 feet east of South St. Landry Avenue. I have a motion introduced by Mr. Vornado. 7B, introduction of ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from Crossroad Commercial to Mixed Use 2, zoning review ID PZ-3585.25, lot C1D for Kelco Properties, LLC Kirby Keller, located on the south side of LA Highway 30, approximately 984 feet west of Delat Road. Motion introduced by Mr. Vornado. 7C, introduction of an ordinance to revoke an existing 30-foot drainage servitude located across southern portion of lots 45, 46, 47, and the northern portion of lot 69A1 in the Ascension Commerce Center, 6 filing property. Motion introduced by Mr. Vornado. 7D, introduction of an ordinance to amend Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Chapter 10, Franchisees, Section 10-26, Ascension Parish Consolidated Utilities District, Number 1, to renew franchise agreement for 20 years.
motion.
Motion introduced by Mr. Vornado. In our public hearings, 8A, reading of an ordinance to amend Ascension Parish Consolidated Utilities Drainage District Number 1 and Parish Utilities of Ascension Water Company Rules and Regulations, Section 4, Billing Fees and Payments,
Did you mean to skip?
fees to adjust and revise the fee schedule, new tap fee, service deposit and tap fee for 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch meters only. Mr. Dupatti.
Chairman, I think
We
Yeah, you
missed
missed E.
E.
I missed one?
E.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I tried to interrupt you before, but I couldn't.
I apologize. We're gonna go back one. 7E, introduction of ordinance to amend Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Chapter 18, Political Subdivisions, Autonomous Boards, Commissions, and Authorities, Article 3, Drainage District, Section 18-31, West Ascension Gravity Drainage District, Number 1, to add Section 18-31.1, Drainage Channels.
Motion.
Motion introduced by Mr. Joseph. And back to 8A, Mr. Dupatti.
Purpose, to amend the Ascension Consolidated Utilities District Number 1 and Parish Utilities of Ascension Water Company, Rules and Regulations, Section 4, Billing Fees and Payments, 3 fees. Whereas rules and regulations for ACUD Number 1 and PUA was established December 8, 2021, and whereas the Utilities Department recommends that the fee schedule be adjusted and revised, and now therefore it be ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that the Ascension Consolidated Utilities District Number 1 and the Parish Utilities of Ascension Water Company, Rules and Regulations, Section 4, Billing Fees, Payments, 3, Fees, be amended as more fully described in Exhibit A attached here to and made a part hereof. Severability in the event any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portion of the ordinance. Effective date, this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. The ordinance having been submitted to a vote, the vote thereon was as follows.
Motion to open public hearing.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Robert, a second by Mr. Vornado.
Motion to close.
Motion to close by Mr. Vornado, a second by Mr. Hillinsbeck.
Motion to accept the
Motion to move the ordinance by Mr. Joseph, a second by Mr. Hillinsbeck. Any questions? Any objections? Hearing none,
Motion adjourned.
so moved. And we got a motion to adjourn by Mr. Robert.